one set of values.
All right, so
He stayed true.
I'm watching the NBC News live stream. I wasn't planning on recording anything else. And this guy's sitting there saying basically what I'm saying is that, something could be going on here and this could be an accurate result and we wouldn't know right away. And these guys are like just kind of talking him down and not even giving an ear to him. I'm gonna let you listen.
Who their leaders are. Then the leaders have to decide what kind of leaders they want to be. And it doesn't come from outside. It really comes from inside who they are and the kind of value that are imparted to those leaders by the people who put them in that office. Look, I've got grave reservations. You and I have talked about this a lot, about what kind of an international leader he'll be, about how much he understands how complex all of this is, because he's a guy who, went through the primaries shooting from the hip, worked for him very well politically. We've seen other people go into that office and be overwhelmed by it, quite honestly, because from the moment you step in, the problems come through the transom, under the door, through the windows, 24/7. And you've got to have great staffs, and you have to have a very sophisticated system for dealing with all that. Is he up to that? Does he care about it? I don't know. But in the meantime, he does have the power of the people behind.
Let's get the read over
does he?
At the
That's the
Clinton
question.
gathering right now. Andrew Mitchell is standing by. Andrew, are you hearing anything from the inner circle, the Clinton folks, as to what their read and how this evening is going to play out, whether we will even have an answer tonight?
They have really gone silent. Now, there's a lot of anticipation here that there has to be some kind of announcement. For one thing, this building is not supposed to be open all night. There are a lot of people here. They've been waiting. Many have left, but many, many more are here. This is a very large facility, larger than you could even see from our camera angle.
All right.
That said, there's a number of calculations.
If he starts talking about this stuff again, I'm going to put him on. I'm going to pause it for now.
A rigged media, a rigged political class, Democrat and Republicans, and to run against sort of the Clinton machine. And that it's now the Clinton campaign you're hearing from about irregularities in a state where he has an 80,000 vote lead. It's just something 4 hours ago I would have found stunning.
It's 80,000 votes. This is not. But
isn't
again,
that
I
a
go back
reason
to there's not 5,000 votes.
Isn't that a reason for concern if he managed to pull off this miraculous defeat, this almost unprecedented, unpredicted event, and he comes out and gives this speech? We did it, even though the media was against us, even though nobody said we could do it. Thanks to you. I would think he's going to feel incredibly emboldened to try and go as far as he can.
Do you think the result? What do you
think that's
suggesting?
the Senate majority back as well. I mean, that's the other thing.
Look,
Right,
this is
Republican House, Republican Senate, and
And the
a
White House.
Trumpian White House. I don't know.
I mean, I guess this is our modern day Dewey defeats Trump. It was practically that.
We don't like to talk to about ourselves in this context. Let's face it, we were as much on the ballot, we, the media, as anything else. There was a great joy, I think, in among some to stick a thumb in our eyes because of the perception.
I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it.
But to your point, it was an applause line at every single event. Our own correspondents were bullied and heckled by the Republican nominee.
I can tell you time after time, and we've spoken about this. There were stories that you wanted to lead with something else, but then he would do something that was just no candidate had gone before. Provocative.
Well, first of all, that was the one unifying theme of this campaign, that everyone hates the media, whether you're a Hillary supporter or a Trump supporter. So, kumbaya, everybody.
Working till 2 in the morning. I'm not feeling great about the media.
I got Bernie
Don't hate.
going. See, that's why you
Just
guys
a
should
little
give Bernie more
disappointed.
time.
Yeah, I mean,
How much did that propel him? Did he become a hero of the anti-media?
Part of his soup.
Really
I mean,
elite
he made sort of a. Some people might find it a toxic brew, depending on your perspective. His supporters, and I know a lot of them, found it to be sort of a magic recipe where you got his base riled up about enough things. We talked about foreign policy a minute ago. He won the South Carolina Republican primary after blaming 9/11 on George W. Bush. I mean, the ideas are so outside the mainstream, not of Republican foreign policy, but of American foreign policy.
I think we do bear some of the responsibility.
The appeal of Trump is that he is that protest vote. That's it. I mean, look, this business about the Access Hollywood tape, this is not media interpreting. It's on the tape. You can hear it. The fact that he didn't turn in his taxes, it's right there. The fact that he's a business.
I think the American people are more responsible than this.
$1 billion loss in 1 year. He never denied it. But I think what the people are saying is, we don't care. We hear what you say about him. We don't want to hear it. We don't care. It's not that it isn't true. It's that they don't care.
I mean, yes, it's true. A lot of the coverage, particularly over the last several months against Trump, has been incredibly negative. So you could say, well, what are we talking about? Why should you blame the media? There were so many stories that were negative. But there is that old adage, all publicity is good publicity.
And we
gave him a lot of publicity.
And we know
He
he believes
constantly about himself. So if you believe that all publicity is good publicity, and he clearly did, well, he got a lot of it.
I got a close friend of mine who's pretty.
Well, here's what we know, Brian. He is headed over here. What's significant about that is that the Clinton campaign has largely gone dark for well over an hour now. Let me just take you through what happened. He was at the Peninsula Hotel, a hotel here in New York, watching returns with Secretary Clinton. He started to leave the hotel, encountered reporters who asked him for a reaction to the results so far. He didn't have any, and then they said, "Are you going over to the Javits Center?" Yes, he is coming here, but he did not say whether or not he was going to actually speak. We anticipate we will hear from him. That would make sense. He is not, or he did not indicate that Secretary Clinton would be coming over with him. In fact, when he was asked directly, is Secretary Clinton coming to the Javits Center, he said, "No, I am going." So this is significant again because there is movement from within the Clinton campaign headquarters, and we are going to, in some way, shape, or form, likely get some reaction from the chairman. Let me just set the scene here, Brian. Inside the Javits Center, a number of people have left in tears. There is stunned disbelief as these results, as they come in. Earlier in the evening, they were looking for any sign that there was a potential path forward. When the results of Nevada, for example, came in, the crowd burst into cheers. But now, really, it's just silence as they listen to the music playing and wait to hear what happens next. Brian.
Kristen Welker at Clinton headquarters. James Carville has joined us. I'm sorry? Maine. We have a projection. Maine. It is being projected by NBC News. Will be won by Hillary Clinton when all the votes are cast.
It's part of this game. You know that from the beginning. If you don't want to be second guessed or criticized, don't be in politics. There was a huge argument leading up to the campaign that she needed a more economic message. You know, that she acknowledged this. And people on the other hand said if we close with temperament and we have this massive GOTV effort, that will get us across the finish line. That wing of the campaign is going to get heavily criticized, to say the least, in the books and the articles and the obits and they go through things. And, you know, if you would have told me that the Democrats would lose Texas by 8, win the popular vote, and lose the election, I would have said never. Okay? But that apparently is going to be what happens tonight. But where the second guessing is going to come in is that they kind of resisted the thing that there were multiple problems that the country was facing, that she thought she could attack them on a lot of different fronts. And Trump's message was simple and to the point. And that is going to be where a lot of second guessing, that's going to be what we're talking about a lot on television, a lot, and you know, just
Here's the chairman of the campaign, John Podesta.